Hi, everybody. Dan D. Federicis of Saratoga Report, and I am here with someone new to Saratoga Report, but not new to Saratoga. Darley Newman. She is an Emmy-nominated TV host with Travels with Darley, a producer, a travel storyteller, and an author. She is appearing at Universal Preservation Hall June 30th as part of Saratoga 250th event. It will be both, in my view, really fun and certainly educational, as it will mark the release of Darley's new book, Revolutionary Road Trip. And I'm going to get that up on the screen there. And it'll also feature a performance by Cassandra Kubinski and a never before seen director's cut featuring exclusive footage and outtakes from the nationwide PBS Saratoga-focused episodes of Travels with Darley. Darley, welcome to Saratoga Report, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to come to Saratoga. Yay!
Yes, and not your first time in Saratoga.
No, and I'm excited too because, well, the book, obviously has a great chapter on Saratoga, but at the event, I think it's going to be really awesome. I've been putting together this really special footage that nobody has seen, and I'll be sharing, and so many great stories that we highlighted in Saratoga, and not just to do with history, with the local food and the arts and small businesses. And I'm kind of through lining those together because I believe that this 250th is so much more than just a look at the past. It's about our communities and the people who make them up, and that's so much a part of the American spirit. So I think there's a lot of great spirit in Saratoga, and I can't wait to share it through this special footage, and then by being there with Cassandra and Lauren and the community.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of that footage, a little bit of a trailer, a teaser perhaps. Let me play it right now. Stand by.
The site of a landmark battle of the American Revolution.
That's where the first Battle of Saratoga took place.
This is the actual site where Burgoyne surrendered his sword.
And this would be a major turning point in the American Revolution.
That's right.
We'll learn about Saratoga Springs as one of our nation's resort cities.
Our city slogan is Health, History, Horses.
We were all over Saratoga. So
a little bit of a problem with the sound there, but I think that gives the footage is terrific. And I've told you before when we've spoken that reading the chapter on Saratoga, and you were kind enough to give me an advance copy, I was a little bit like embarrassed as a Saratogian, as my friends call me Mr. Saratoga, and yet I knew so little about the history and what you were writing about being at the Stewart's in Schuylerville and the history right there, right, where I'm buying a quart of milk. You're telling about what happened there 250 years ago. The Adirondack Trust Branch on Broadway, the amount of history in there where I do my banking and caught my own little world, go in, don't even look at what you described there, just the authentic muskets, some cannonballs and things like that. And the history is around here. And I say that both for myself and some of my friends and fellow Saratogians, we don't appreciate history enough. And I'm really looking forward to this event on June 30th.
no, I'm super excited. I mean, Saratoga is a special community. I love to highlight hidden gems. That's what I've been doing for many years. Travels with Darley has been on PBS stations. It streams on Amazon Prime, on Tubi, on our YouTube. I have a podcast with it. All of it is about telling really great stories that share so much about our world and make us appreciate it more. And honestly, in Saratoga, you can literally take 2 steps and you're coming across history. And it's not just hidden. If you do look around, you will find it. And I think that's really neat that, sometimes these places from so long ago, while there are many buildings that lasted, many things did get torn down, or it was a site over at Stewart Shops, British parked artillery there. So, but that is remembered through a sign. And if you take the time to talk to locals and dig a little bit deeper, I think it's really special to appreciate that this history is so well preserved and that locals really safeguard it. And it's not, it's the bank, it's Cafe Lana, it's, even people like Cassandra Kubinski who are memorializing different things through their music. So I thought that was really interesting. And so many people also paying it forward to the next generation in Saratoga and really trying to teach each other and teach kids and other people to value these places and this history.
So great, thank you. The event on the 30th, you're going to have copies of your book, folks. It's a great offer. I'm going to put up the Saratoga 250 website where you can order tickets. Just $20. Another 20 gets you a copy of Darley's book. And will you be signing books that evening? We have time to sign books that evening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I mean, that's as someone who my bookshelf back here is filled with books that I know the people who wrote them, they're friends or they're people I've met on my travels. And I think it's really neat to be able to get a signed copy of a book. It's very cool. So yeah, I'll definitely be signing books. It'll be a chance for, everybody to learn, and gosh, with live music and sharing of history. And yeah, you'll be able, this is the day the book releases. I'm in Saratoga for the book release. And I, believe there's so many great stories. And again, I captured them in the show, but I felt compelled to now write a book that shares even deeper stories of women who lived through the movement, of people, big names of the time that were involved there at Saratoga, and then lesser known stories. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really neat opportunity for everybody to get together, especially leading up to July 4th, and we have the the commemorations of the founding of the United States.
That's great. And I want to read your subtitle here because it's important about the book. You're not recapping battles. There's plenty of other places for people to go to that. It's hidden stories from America's founding journey. And you mentioned the women, and I think it's an undertold story in the American Revolution that literally thousands of women with children following both armies around, and sometimes with terrible results, and starvation and imprisonment and things like that you don't expect when you think of a war 250 years ago. And you're telling some of those stories.
I am, and they're told through the eyes of local experts. I mean, you'll hear from Lauren Roberts directly that evening, and she's also someone that is in the show and that I've put additional content from our interviews over at the Saratoga Sword Surrender site. And she talks about, this very special woman who was an original female war correspondent who documented her family's struggles during the revolution. And that information is shared at the Saratoga Sword Surrender site. But then when you hear someone like Lauren, who is a mother, who is a historian, who knows the community so well, share it, I think, you'll feel differently about our collective American story. And so many people look at the American Revolution. It does seem so long ago. And I know from my history lessons in school that I didn't always relate to the time period. So I feel really privileged to have been able to meet so many people on my travels across the original 13 colonies that are sharing stories in a different way. And these are all sites that people can visit. And so the book that I've written, you can go to Saratoga and you can take the journey. You can use the book and take the journey. And there are a lot of great resources for that outside of the book as well. So I'm super excited to be there and to be with everybody and to share.
And you wrote it in the book, and I could see it in the video. You and Lauren had a great connection, didn't you?
Yeah, well, everybody thought that we were sisters, so we do look alike. But no, we had a great time, and I just love the local historians, and they're someone that I pay tribute to in the book. The historians and just the volunteers at a lot of these locations that you meet as you travel as well, and people like Ranger Clower at Saratoga National Historical Park. I mean, they've made it their life's mission to document lesser known stories and to share stories that we can all learn from, and I think that's really special.
Right. And you mentioned you weren't here just for the history. You had some fun here, didn't you? Let's show a couple of shots there of the well, that carousel has plenty of history, but I think you were having both exploring the town and having some fun.
Loved it. I have so many hats from Saratoga. Joyce over at Hat Sational took all my money. No, but I love her hats. I wear them all the time, and everyone's always asking me where I got them. And then, even the local food. Wow, Morrissey's so good. The crunch of the chicken, you'll hear, I call it out in this director's cut from Hattie's. The old Brian Inn. Wow. I mean, talk about collecting from the past. and, even sharing a pint made with apples. So lots of, when you're traveling, I believe you want to, meet the locals, like Upset there, but then you also want to have a really good meal and some great food and enjoy what the locals prize. Because all these foods and drinks, they're coming from the local communities. And that makes travel special too, because you can taste the flavors when you're on site, especially when you're at historic places like the old Bryan Inn. And then you can go stay at a historic place like Saratoga Arms. So there's a lot of ways to experience the past, not just at museums, at living, breathing restaurants and inns and things like that as well.
Okay, folks, this is so great. I'm really excited to meet you in person. Here's the website, folks, to get the tickets. June 30th at Universal Preservation Hall. Great reason to go to Universal Preservation Hall. I think you told me the other day you had not been there on your first trip, and that alone will be a treat. And for those of you that haven't been there yet, that are in the area, that will be just one more of many reasons to go that evening. And any closing thoughts, Darley?
No, I'm super excited. Again, this will be the day that the book releases, so it's not even out yet. It'll be available. I'll be there to sign books. We'll show this exclusive director's cut that I've personally worked on, that I think is a real tribute to Saratoga. And I'm excited to be with everybody. Lauren Roberts is such a great speaker as well. Cassandra, you can't beat that live music. So I think it's going to be a really inspirational evening.
Oh, that's great. I'm looking forward to it as well, folks. Just over a week away, so go on and get your tickets. Saratoga250.com. Darley, thanks again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Take care.